Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of the Louis Sports Network. This is the head of the table speaking, Roman Reigns. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, I just want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Hope everybody is having a wonderful time with their mothers, and just let you know you love and honor your mother. Hug and kiss her. Tell her how much you love her and appreciate her for what she does for the household. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful, beautiful mothers out there. And for the mothers who are holding it down as a double parent, single moms, who are being mom and dad to their children, definitely appreciate you. Again, without you, there is no us. So we definitely appreciate you for what you do. Much salute to the mothers out there. Definitely appreciate you. On to the video, everybody. Peace and blessings to everybody as well before I get started. And hope everybody is having a wonderful Mother's Day afternoon here on this wonderful Sunday. Definitely appreciate you guys. On to the video. So I did not watch the game between the Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers, and after the Sixers blew a golden opportunity to go to the Eastern Conference Finals just a couple of nights ago, I said to myself, look for the Celtics to probably win Game 7. It'll be close early, but I'm pretty sure I'm expecting a blowout, and that's exactly what happened. And I said Jason Tatum was going to have a big game, knowing that today is Mother's Day. And ladies and gentlemen, the Boston Celtics win 112-88 over Philadelphia. They were down by as many as 30 points in this game. They win 112-88. The Celtics take the series 4-3, and they're moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals in a rematch against the Miami Heat that went 7 games last year, in where Boston did not have the home court advantage. But this time they're gonna have it. And the best part about winning this series is they don't have to travel, so they'll be home on Wednesday when Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals starts. So I think I'm gonna do Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But anyway, shout out to Jason Tatum, man. 51 points in this historic Game 7, 17 out of 28 from the field, 11 of 14 from the free throw line, 6 out of 10 from three-point range. Ladies and gentlemen, his 51 points are the most points scored in a Game 7 in NBA history. The previous record was just held in the round earlier by who? Stephen Wardell Curry, who had scored 50 in Game 7 on the road against the Sacramento Kings. But I got to get to the Philadelphia 76ers. You lost this game in the third quarter. It's one thing to you get off to a great start, 29-23, Boston. I mean, it's early, but you're up 6. You let the Celtics score 32 points in the second quarter, and you get outscored by 9, 32-23. That's one thing. Then the inevitable third quarter happened, and it was a 33-10 avalanche that the Philadelphia 76ers never, ever, ever recovered from. They never recovered. And just like that, their season is over. And once again, Doc Rivers finds a way to blow a 3-2 lead yet again. Is it all his fault? No. But Glenn Rivers lost the name Doc about 5 years ago. And let me just say this. Doc Rivers is going to get fired. He's going to get fired. Mark my words, I'll be shocked if he's still a Philadelphia 76er head coach, but mark my words, Doc Rivers is going to get fired, and he will no longer be the Sixers head coach. We saw Nick Nurse part ways with the Raptors. We saw Budenholzer part ways with the Bucks. We saw Monty Williams part way with the Phoenix Suns after what happened to him. Doc Rivers, you're next. That's number one. Now, let me get to the so-called 2 MVPs of the Philadelphia 76ers, because let me get this straight. Joel Embiid whining and crying for the MVP award. He gets it to try to prove to all of us and convince all of us he's the best player in basketball this year. Well, let's take a look at his Game 7. 38 minutes, 5 for 18 from the field, 15 points, and only 8 rebounds. And he had 4 turnovers. Was a minus 28 on the court. But you're going to sit here and tell me that Joel Embiid is the MVP. Yes, it's a regular season award, but if you are that guy, you're supposed to show up when the moments are needed in a pivotal Game 7. You are showing me that you are the MVP, the most violated person. You're not the most valuable player. You're the most violated person. You lost by 24 in Game 7 and only scored 15 points and a minus 28 on the court. You had no impact. And now, let's get to Mr. Titties Over Titles, James Harden, because the James Harden fanboys love to defend him at all costs, even though I don't think he's a greater scorer than Michael Jordan. And I don't think he's a greater scorer than Kobe Bryant. Hell, I don't think he's even a greater scorer than Dwayne Wade when you put the eye test together. Now, you can say whatever you want. You can call me a hater, whatever, and you said I don't know basketball, but I'm looking at the eye test. James Harden had 42 points on the road in Game 1. I give him credit for that. But James Harden's biggest problem has always been in the playoffs. He can never string two good games together in his playoff career. And he's proven why he is not this playoff performer that I thought he was going to show himself to be. Ladies and gentlemen, in another closeout game, because remember, 6 years ago against the San Antonio Spurs, no Kawhi Leonard, no Tony Parker, and he went 3 for 11 in 2017 to lose to the Spurs in 6 games in the second round, just like he did in Game 7 against the Boston Celtics. 9 points, 5 turnovers. Oh, and Embiid had 4 turnovers himself. So your superstars turned the ball over 9 times. 9 of the 11 turnovers from the starting 5 were by your 2 superstar players. Simply pathetic. And James Harden was a minus 30 on the court. Minus 30. Look at that. In 4 minutes, Georges Niang only takes 1 shot. The same guy that was cooking in Game 6 that Doc Rivers decided to take out and put in DeAnthony Milton, who didn't do, all he did was just lay a community of bricks in the 4th quarter of Game 6. So Philly blows a golden opportunity and they get blown out in Game 7. Titties over titles continues to prove to me he don't care about winning, and he doesn't stop, and the moment is too big for Harden when the going gets tough. When the lights are on bright, he just fails to show up. Mr. Titty over titles. But it ain't gonna matter because he's gonna be thinking about the strip club and doing his bowl parties all summer. The man can do whatever he wants, but don't ever tell me that this guy is this unbelievable all-time great. He continues to prove to me that he's just a regular season player. And Joel Embiid, the so-called MVP, only shows me that he is a regular season player. Gets injured and tends to wear down in the playoffs. And let's not forget about Glenn Rivers, the head coach, a guy who thinks he's Phil Jackson. Let me tell you something about Doc Rivers. When he was with the Boston Celtics, he had the right personnel around him. It made Doc look better than what he really was because he didn't accomplish anything with the Lob City Clippers. They blew a 3-1 lead while him as head coach. And some of his high quote-unquote IQ players like the point fraud, CP0, CP-3, CP-3, got either injured or just didn't show or didn't play well like when it really mattered most. More times than not. Then you got the 3-1 lead blown wide, Colo management, and PG no-show. PG no-show. Blew a 3-1 lead in the bubble. Then, with the Sixers, they blow a 3-2 lead to the freaking Atlanta Hawks, in which Cinnamon Bun Simmons passes up an open layup in a Game 7 because he can't shoot free throws. And now, you have this nonsense. James Harden, 41 minutes, minus 30. Joel Embiid, 38 minutes, minus 28 on the court. Basically saying you guys had no impact. Yet, the only person, can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? Tobias Harris had more field goals made, almost had more field goals made than Joel Embiid and James Harden combined in a Game 7. Tobias Harris was 7 of 13. He had 19 points. Tobias Harris led all scorers. Let's take a look at James Harden. 9 points. He was the 1, 2, 3. Bruh, James Harden was the 4th leading scorer. No. James Harden was the 5th leading scorer on the Sixers today in Game 7. PJ Tucker even chipped in 11 points and hit 3 threes, 4 out of 7 from the field. Unbelievable. PJ Tucker made one more field goal than James Harden and was more efficient. And Tobias Harris made 4 more field goals and was more efficient than Joel Embiid and James Harden. And I get that those guys are going to get more attention than the role players. But my point is, you got outplayed by two starters who had lower plus minuses than the two of you. Like I said, Doc Rivers going to get fired. And it just proves to you that Doc is the most overrated coach in the NBA and arguably in NBA history. He's going to be the scapegoat for sure. I can't blame Doc Rivers for James Harden and Embiid's poor play, but Doc Rivers just doesn't really know how to adjust. He expects his players to play through it like he's Phil Jackson. You don't got the personnel to do that. That was back in Boston. You had the IQ of Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. You had Tom Thibodeau as your defensive coordinator, taking care of the defense. You had the personnel. Glenn Rivers gets put on this pedestal, but really hasn't proven to me anything because it just goes to show you the Sixers are frauds. I was telling people they're going to get knocked off in the second round again. It just took 7 games, but they're going to get knocked off in the second round. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a longer video, but I had to do this on this Mother's Day. Once again, congratulations to the Boston Celtics on making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Expect some changes to be made in Philadelphia because they're going outside. 54 regular season wins, 25 and solid road record, 25 and 16 on the road. You win 2 road games in this series, Game 1 and Game 5, but when it mattered most, you couldn't get it done. And let me also say this about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum struggled so badly through the first 3 quarters in Game 6. But you know what he did in the fourth quarter? He scored 16 points. When it mattered most, Jason Tatum came through, ladies and gentlemen. He came through and he was clutch where the Sixers choked in Game 6. And then in Game 7, on the biggest game with home court advantage, puts up a 51-piece. The most points in a Game 7 in NBA history, while the 2 superstars in Philadelphia combined shoot 8 for 29 from the field. Tyrese Maxey wasn't that great, but he was a hell of a lot better than Harden and Embiid, in my opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is your boy, Louis. James Harden is the biggest, once again I say, the biggest choker that I've ever seen. But you Harden fanboys are going to find a way to defend it no matter what. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Bless up, live, love, love. Thank you guys for watching. And again, happy Mother's Day. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.